You don't realize it, but the shapes around you are quietly dictating your mood, your choices, and your behavior. This is the complete guide to the psychology of shapes in our daily environment and how you can take back control. Every single day, your brain processes thousands of geometric forms, from the logo on your coffee cup to the architecture of your office building, and each one triggers an emotional response before your conscious mind even registers what it's looking at. We're talking milliseconds. Your brain sees a shape, fires off a signal, and you feel something, all before logic catches up. This is visual perception at its most fundamental level, operating through what researchers call cognitive bias, your brain's hardwired tendency to interpret shapes in predictable ways. In the 1920s, 3 German psychologists, Max Wertheimer, Kurt Koffka, and Wolfgang Kohler, developed what became known as the Gestalt Principles. They wanted to understand something fundamental about how the human mind processes visual chaos. What they discovered was remarkable. Our brains don't see the world as a collection of random lines and dots. Instead, we instinctively organize visual information into complete, meaningful patterns through specific mechanisms like proximity, similarity, and figure ground organization. Research shows that even infant babies, some as young as 1 week old, prefer to look at circles and ovals over all other shapes. 1 week old. These babies haven't learned anything about design or culture. They're responding to something deeper, something that appears to be hardwired. Circles represent unity, wholeness, and continuity. They have no beginning and no end. That's why roughly 20% of popular logos use the circle form. Pepsi, BMW, Target, MasterCard, the Olympic rings. In 2006, researchers Moshe Bar and Maytal Neda at Harvard Medical School ran a deceptively simple experiment. They showed 14 participants images of abstract shapes and everyday objects, some with curved contours, some with sharp angles. Each image flashed on screen for just 84 milliseconds, and consistently, people preferred the curved shapes over the angular ones. A year later, they followed up with brain scans, and the results were striking. The amygdala showed significantly greater activation when people viewed sharp-angled objects compared to curved ones. But shape psychology goes even deeper than most people realize. Think about the last time you entered a luxury hotel, a high-end shopping mall, or even a modern smartphone store. Almost everything around you was designed with smooth curves and rounded edges. This isn't an accident. Designers understand that curves communicate comfort, safety, and trust. When people feel safe, they stay longer, and the longer they stay, the more likely they are to spend money. Now compare that to places designed to communicate authority or power. Government buildings, banks, and corporate headquarters often rely heavily on rectangles, squares, and strong vertical lines. These shapes create a sense of stability, structure, and control. Your brain instantly reads these visual signals. Even in nature, shape perception plays an important role in survival. For thousands of years, sharp shapes often meant danger. Thorns, claws, teeth, broken rocks, and weapons all shared one thing in common: pointed edges. Meanwhile, rounded shapes were usually associated with safety. Fruits, water droplets, the moon, and even human faces contain softer curves. Because of this evolutionary history, many researchers believe our attraction to curved forms may be deeply connected to survival instincts. And here's where things become even more fascinating. Shape psychology doesn't just influence what we see, it can also influence how we behave. Imagine 2 chairs placed in a room. One chair has sharp corners, hard edges, and a rigid structure. The other has smooth curves and rounded armrests. Most people will naturally feel more comfortable approaching the curved chair, even before sitting down. The shape itself creates an emotional expectation. This phenomenon appears everywhere in product design. Car manufacturers use aggressive angular designs to make vehicles appear powerful and fast. Luxury brands often use elegant curves to communicate sophistication and exclusivity. Children's products frequently feature circles and rounded shapes because they create feelings of friendliness and safety. Nothing is random. Every line has a purpose. Every angle sends a message. Even social media platforms use shape psychology. Look closely at the icons on your phone. Many apps use rounded squares or circular profile pictures. These shapes make digital interactions feel more human and approachable. If every icon were made of sharp triangles and aggressive angles, the entire experience would feel less inviting. Architects also take advantage of these principles. Modern research suggests that people often report lower stress levels in environments that incorporate organic curves and flowing forms. That's one reason why many contemporary buildings, museums, and public spaces are moving away from rigid, box-like structures. The goal is simple: create spaces that feel comfortable for the human brain. But perhaps the most surprising part of all is that shape psychology works even when you're completely unaware of it. You don't have to notice the shapes. You don't have to think about them. Your brain is processing them automatically. Every logo, every website, every product package, every room, every advertisement. Your mind is constantly decoding a silent visual language. And once you understand that language, you begin to see the world differently. You start noticing how companies compete for your attention using geometry. You begin recognizing why certain places feel welcoming while others feel intimidating. And you realize that shapes are far more than simple designs. They are emotional triggers hidden in plain sight. There's another phenomenon that reveals just how deep these shape associations run. It's called the Buba-Kiki effect, first observed in the 1920s and later popularized by neuroscientist V.S. Ramachandran in his groundbreaking 2001 research. When people are shown two shapes, one rounded and one spiky, and asked which one is called Buba and which is Kiki, 87.2% of people assign Buba to the round shape and Kiki to the spiky one. That's not a slight preference, that's an overwhelming consensus across languages and cultures. Shape psychology is being weaponized all around you every single day. In digital marketing, research including field experiments and eye tracking studies has shown that curved virtual elements on websites and in online ads generate higher click-through rates than sharp-angled ones. In architecture, a 2024 study published by the National Library of Medicine found that people experienced significantly more positive emotions in curved spaces versus rectangular ones. The next time you walk into a building, scroll past an ad, or glance at a logo, pay attention. The shapes around you are speaking a language your brain already understands. Shape psychology isn't just an academic curiosity. It's a hidden architecture of influence that surrounds you every moment of every day.